Some of you watching may already know that this is a hat pin. These are also hat pins, and they're all in our collection here at the Walker House Museum. Though traces of hat pins date back to the 15th century, they didn't become popular until the tail end of the Victorian era and rising to popularity in the Edwardian era, not only as an accessory, but as a means of self-defense. For the most part, replacing the chin strap in the 1880s, hat pins came in various sizes and styles. For example, this one here in our collection is just over 10 inches long. Hat pins were adorned with many different tops, as you can see here from the ones in our collection, and they were made primarily from various metals, but there are also traces of ones made of wood and even ivory. Hat pins also varied in length, as you can see here. This one is much shorter, and bringing back the just over 10-inch hat pin here. In the Edwardian era, hat pins were causing a global uproar due to an influx in injury and even death caused by them. With the height of the Industrial Revolution and women's suffrage, it was more and more common for women to travel alone without a chaperone to watch her every move. With this newfound freedom, a rise in harassment. But the Edwardian woman was not to be messed with. Now, women might walk home with their keys clutched between their fingers, but for them, they were wielding an invisible weapon. Hat pins could be anywhere between 6 to 18 inches long. Their sharp points were enough to warn or harm any predatory men, then referred to as mashers. A letter referred to in the Plain Dealer newspaper in 1910, signed by May E. Davis, states, "A hat pin is a woman's self-defense. She is no more permitted to carry a revolver or other weapon than is a member of the sterner sex. I always feel safe going home at night with a hat pin available." It is to be noted that though hat pins were a cause of many injuries, it was more often than not that it was infection and or blood poisoning that caused the death of various men and women as a result of the initial attack. The global phenomenon of death by hat pin was not always in self-defense. Some women took to confronting one another and in the heat of anger would joust as if in a duel. Unlike with certain fencing equipment, not very often would women have something on the end to protect the point. For example, here in our collection, we do have this circa Victorian era hat pin here that when it was donated to us, it did come with this cork on the end, serving as a protector. Sometimes the injury was an accident altogether. An all too long hat pin would protrude from a hat too short, causing cuts and scrapes. Not all hat pins in history had something blocking the point on the end, often resulting in a long protruding needle that anyone coming too close to a woman might get scratched. In general, the hat pin was an everyday item, but with a closer look, we find an untold history of social outrage. My name's Hannah Bowen, and I'm a summer student here at the Walker House Museum in Kincardine, Ontario, and I have an adoration for all things historical fashion, so I hope to see you guys more often with other various TikToks and short-form YouTube video content. Thanks for watching. See you next time.